Yesterday we talked about, and I can even flip back and look, we talked about area. We talked about how area is the inside. I gave the example of a wall and a rug. Even we talked about a garden bed, measuring the outside for a fence. But what about if you want to know how much dirt to fill in there? The dirt is in the inside of the garden. So that would be something you use to find, you would use area to calculate. So we said area is length times width. So today we're going to be taking that skill and building on it. So we know it's length times width to find the inside measurement or area. But that is when it's a super nice rectangle or square, something that just has one length and just one width. But of course, there are some shapes that aren't set up like a perfect rectangle. Like if you glance down here, you can see what I'm talking about. Those are called irregular shapes. That irregular just kind of means they're not your regular shapes. But not to worry, because we can use this formula to find the area of irregular shapes. And it's actually pretty simple. What you do is, and I'm just going to read the steps really quick and then show you. And you know what? I'm going to make my own example right here if you want to write it with me. I'm going to do a little L, like for Lackey, because that is my name. And I'm going to say, okay, how about this is 3 centimeters, this is 10 centimeters, this is 7 centimeters, this is 2 centimeters, this is 8 centimeters, and this is 4 centimeters, okay? So I'm going to use this as an example if you want to draw this shape so that you can, we can practice. So first you're going to divide the shape into rectangles. So if I look here, I can say, well, it's not a perfect rectangle, but there are ways I could split it. What if I split it, and by the way, you could do it either way. I'm going to model one way. I'm going to draw a dotted line down here. And I am going to say this is kind of like rectangle 1, and this is kind of like rectangle 2. And now I basically, without reading all of these steps, can I find the area of this rectangle? Can I find the area of this rectangle and then smash them together by adding them? Let's try. All right, the area of rectangle 1. In order to find area, I need a length and a width. Do I have a length? 10. Do I have a width? 3. So area is length times width. So for rectangle 1, if I do 10 times 3, I get 30 centimeters squared. But that's just the area of this shape, this rectangle. What about rectangle 2? Do I have a length? Now be careful. I see 7 here, but 7 went all the way across. I just want this rectangle here. So, 7 wouldn't be the right number. 4 is just this part. So the length is 2. And the width is 4. And 2 times 4 is 8 centimeters squared. So this shape, I have 30 centimeters squared and 8 centimeters squared. And if I add them together, the total area, the total would be 38 centimeters squared. Okay, so basically now I can look at the steps. What did I do? I divided it into rectangles. In this case, I had 2. I found the length and the width of the new shape. So I found the length and width of this shape, the length and width of this shape. I found the area of the shapes. So I did length times width, and I found an area of this shape. I did the length times width, and I found the area of this one. And then I found a total by adding them. So let's look at an example that's a little bit more, it's already set up for us, okay? Now they already split for us. They said, let's find the area of this total shape. It kind of looks like, it's definitely irregular. It's not a perfect rectangle, but they said, wait a minute, we could split it here. And now this looks like a rectangle down here, rectangle 1. And this looks like a square down here, or a square is a rectangle, rectangle 2. So now, can I find the area of 1? Well, area is length times width. The length, how long it is, 5 meters. And how wide it is, just this first shape, 5 meters, and it's 3 meters wide. Okay, 5 times 3 is 15 meters. Now let's look at rectangle 2. So if, by the way, let me just make it easier to and color code. So we just found this, that 5 times 3 is 15. Now we're going to look at the second rectangle. Okay, do I have a length on that? Length is how long it is, 3 meters. And a width is 3 meters. And 3 times 3 is 9 meters. So far, I've got 5 times 3, 15 over here, and 3 times 3 is 9 over here. And together, how much is the whole area? 15 plus 9, okay? And you can just use standard algorithm, 15 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 24. And one last thing we talked about yesterday is labeling meters squared, okay, or squared meters. Okay, now these two I do want you to try and do on your own. So if you want to pause this video, you can go ahead and try it on your own, and then I will demonstrate. So now would be a good pause time, and you can press play when you're ready to check your work. Okay, so hopefully you tried these on your own. Now, the only thing with me reviewing these is I want you to be sure to know this. Some of you might have split this here, which is fine, and some of you might split it going this way, which is fine. You should get the same area no matter what, but your work might be different along the way. So I'm going to just split it here. Okay, so I'm going to look at this rectangle right now. Focus on this one. The length is 3, but what is the width? Well, it's not 10 because 10 goes all the way here. That's 5. Oh, if this whole thing is 10 and this is 5, this must be 5 centimeters because 5 plus 5 gets me 10. So my length is 3 and I figured out my width is 5, and 3 times 5 is 15. Now here, my length is 7, that was easy, and my width is 5. 7 times 5 is 35. So now I've got like partial areas. I've got an area here is 15, and I've got an area here is 35, and I have to add them together. 5 plus 5 makes 10, 3, 4, 5. 50. So I got 50 centimeters, and remember its area is squared. Now I'm going to erase this really fast. Ooh, that's kind of annoying. I'm going to erase it because I just want to show some of you who split it the other way that you should get the same thing. If you were somebody who split it this way, look, now find the length and width of this one. 3 times 10 is 30. Now find the length times width of this one. 4 times 5 is 20. 30 plus 20 is 50. So I want to show you that no matter how you split it, you should still get the same total area, but your partial areas, 30 plus 20, were different. The other way I split it, it was 15 plus 35. So you should still, though, get that same answer, okay? This one I'm going to split, let's see, I'm going to split it this way. Okay, let's find the area of this first. 6 times 8, the length times the width, and 6 times 8 is 48. So far that one's 48. This one, I see the length easy is 6. The width is a little hard. Look, the width of this is 6, and this is unknown. But look, if this is 6 and the whole thing is 10, then this unknown must be 4 because 6 plus 4 get me 10. So then I have 6 times 4 over here gets me 20. My total area, 48 plus 20. Add them up. And I get 68, but not just 68, labeling our answers. This is millimeters squared. Area is always squared. Okay, so this is a tough skill, but if you followed this video, I hope that it's starting to make sense and we can continue working with it.